it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my 5th update for Clue Special Panning Edition. I created this Pantastic Ladies collab because I wanted to play Clue and my dog was having a hard time learning the rules. The rules of the panning version are as follows. You have 3 categories of prompts: the suspects, the weapons, and the rooms. You choose 3 prompts from each of those 3 categories. Once you pick your product, you roll a pair of dice, and that's your usage goal. Once you get to the update, you take the prompts that you met your goal on, and you arrange them into a 3-prompt suggestion. If you're wrong, one of those 3 things will be eliminated for you. So far, everyone has been wrong. It's about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on November 9th, and I haven't solved the case yet either. I do, however, have new evidence and a prime suspect. The first suspect I was working on was Mr. Green, and he is something green. I was using this KVD Super Pomade in the shade Power Green. Last update, I had 4 uses of my goal of 8, and I did get the other 4, so Mr. Green's goal has been met. Then there's Mrs. Peacock. She's something blue. I was using the Ardency and Monster Manuka Honey Enriched Pigment in the shade Peacock. She's also carried over from the last update. I had 4 uses on her as well, and now I'm up to 9. Today's my 9th use of this, so next update for sure I'll be able to use Mrs. Peacock in a suggestion. Then there was Professor Plum. He's purple, and I was using this unidentified lip crayon in some kind of purple shade. My goal was to use this 5 times, and I did that, so Professor Plum's goal has been met. The first weapon I was using was the wrench. That's something you use to fix mishaps. So I used this Bare Minerals Loose Shadow in the shade Soul to fix my eyeshadow when it needs to be blended. At the last update, I believe I had used this 3 times, but I've met my goal of 11 now, so the wrench was able to be used in a suggestion. Next is a lead pipe. The lead pipe is a pencil, and I was using this Lord & Berry Silk Gel Kohl liner in the shade White. My goal was to use this 11 times. So far I'm at 6 uses, so I can't guess the lead pipe quite yet. And then I had the rope. The rope is something you were roped into buying, and for me that's the NYX Glitter Primer. My goal was just to use this 3 times, and I did that, so the rope's goal was met. The first room I was working on was the kitchen, and I was using this Mented Loose Powder in the shade Light Tan. My goal was to use this 12 times. I'd used it twice for the last update. I did use it the other 10 times, so the kitchen has been investigated. Then there's the ballroom. The ballroom is something you save for special occasions. I never do my brows at all, so I was using this Benefit Gimme Brow. I had rolled a 10, and so far I've used it 8 times, so I'm not ready with the ballroom quite yet. Lastly, there's the library. That's a palette, and I was just using a duo because I count them as palettes. This one's from Cargo, and it's in the shades Sand and Fairy. My goal was to use this 8 times, and it doesn't really look like it, but I did do that. I used both shades, but every time I used it, so 8 uses, and I could use the library in a suggestion. So I did manage to meet my goal on 2 suspects, 2 weapons, and 2 rooms, so I was able to make 2 guesses. And Kana of Kana's Vanity is kindly keeping my solution hidden from me so I can play, and she was able to give me some evidence back. My first guess was that it could have been Mr. Green with the rope in the library, and Kana told me that it was not Mr. Green, so he's been eliminated as a suspect. My second guess is that it could have been Professor Plum with the wrench in the kitchen, and Kana showed me the wrench card, so it couldn't have been the wrench. So now I'm going to put my evidence notebook up on the screen, and you can see that I have guessed Professor Plum 3 times at this point, and he hasn't been eliminated. So he's my new prime suspect, and I am down to 3 total suspects, so I'm going to be using all of them for this next update, so I know one of them is right. And for the weapons, I wasn't working on the revolver this round, but I've guessed that several times and it hasn't been eliminated. So I'm really pretty certain it was Professor Plum with the revolver, and I'm going to be bringing that back so I can hopefully use it in a suggestion and maybe get the right answer. For the rooms, I'm less certain. I've used both the lounge and the library in 2 separate guesses, and neither of them were eliminated, so they seem like they might be the most likely, but I'm not sure. So we're just going to pick a few and see how it works out. Of course, I'm going to be bringing my prime suspect back. That's Professor Plum. I'm going to still use this same lip crayon, and I think he knows that I'm onto him because my usage goal is an 11. So we'll see if I can get those done in order to guess him for the next update. The last suspect I need to bring in is Mrs. White. She is something white, and I'm using the Au Naturel Cream Shadow in the shade White Quartz, and for her I rolled a 4. So for the next update I should be able to guess Mrs. White. For the weapons, I will be using the rope. The rope is, again, something you were roped into buying, and I'm still going to be using the NYX Glitter Primer. And for this, I rolled a 7. so 7 uses on the glitter primer. And the last weapon that I have to work on is the revolver. That's a spray, and I'm going to be using the Dry Bar Prep Rally Prep and Prime Detangler. And for this one I rolled a 5, so 5 uses on the revolver, and my smoking gun will be back on the list of things that I might be able to get evidence for. For the rooms, I'm going to investigate the kitchen again, and I'm still going to be using this Mented Loose Powder in light tan, and I rolled an 8 for this, so 8 uses on the powder this time. Last but not least, I'm going to be switching it up a little bit, and I'm going to investigate the Lounge. The Lounge is a no makeup product, and so that's the lip gloss, and it's going to be the same lip gloss I used before. It's the Maybelline Shiny-licious and Berry Bella, and I rolled an 8 for this as well, so 8 uses on this lip gloss. So there we have it. Next update, I'm going to try to have my goals met, particularly for Professor Plum and for the revolver, and I'm going to try to use them together and see if maybe I can guess the right answer this time. Good luck to all of you, and hopefully we're going to start making some arrests soon. Bye.